The stars looked different from this far out in the solar system. Commander Alan Harris stood on the bridge of the USS Defiant, hands clasped behind his back, eyes fixed on the main view screen. Jupiter hung like a massive painted backdrop to their starboard side, its swirling storms a reminder of the raw power of nature. But Harris wasn't admiring the view. His attention was focused on the empty space ahead, where sensors had detected something approaching. "Anything new, Lieutenant Martinez?" Harris asked, his voice steady despite the tension in his shoulders. Olivia Martinez didn't look up from her console. Her fingers moved quickly across the touchscreen as she analyzed the incoming data. "The signals are getting stronger, sir. Whatever's out there, it's big and it's heading straight for us." Harris nodded. After 50 years of silence from the depths of space, humanity had finally detected signs of intelligent alien life. The United Earth Defense Force had dispatched the Defiant as humanity's first line of defense. As Earth's newest and most technologically advanced warship, the Defiant represented the best chance for first contact, or first defense. "How long until visual contact?" Harris asked. "At current speeds, about 20 minutes, sir," Martinez replied. Harris pressed a button on his chair. "All hands, this is the commander. We are 20 minutes from first contact with an unknown alien vessel. Battle stations level 2. This is not a drill." Throughout the massive ship, warning lights flashed yellow. Crew members rushed to their stations, their faces a mix of fear and excitement. Nobody had trained for this exact moment because nobody had truly believed it would come. In the engine room, Chief Engineer William Carter checked and rechecked the ship's power systems. The Defiant's experimental fusion reactor hummed steadily, its blue glow casting strange shadows across the engineering bay. "Power levels stable," Carter reported through the comm system. "We're ready for whatever they've got." On the bridge, Science Officer Grace Liu studied the incoming sensor data with growing concern. "Commander, I'm detecting not just one ship, but an entire fleet. At least 20 vessels of various sizes moving in formation." Harris frowned. One alien ship could be a diplomatic mission. A fleet suggested something else entirely. "Any attempts at communication from them?" he asked. Communications Officer Daniel Wells shook his head. "Nothing on any frequency we're monitoring, sir. If they're talking, they're not talking to us." "Keep broadcasting our greeting message on all channels," Harris ordered. The message, carefully crafted by Earth's best linguists and diplomats, contained basic mathematical sequences and visual data designed to demonstrate human intelligence and peaceful intentions. Martinez suddenly straightened in her chair. "Sir, I'm getting visual now." "On screen," Harris commanded. The main view screen flickered and then filled with an image that made everyone on the bridge go silent. The alien ships were unlike anything humans had ever designed. They looked almost organic, with sleek, curved hulls that seemed to flow like liquid metal. Biomechanical structures protruded from their surfaces like strange growths. The vessels varied in size, but even the smallest dwarfed the Defiant. "My God," someone whispered. Harris didn't allow himself to show fear. "Magnify the lead ship." The screen zoomed in on the largest vessel. It was massive, easily 10 times the size of the Defiant. Its surface pulsed with strange lights that seemed to flow like blood through veins. "Sir, they're scanning us," Martinez reported, her voice tense. "Very powerful scans. They're cutting through our outer shields like they're not even there." Harris made a quick decision. "Raise all shields to maximum. Weapons on standby, but do not lock targets." The bridge crew rushed to comply. The Defiant's shields weren't designed to block scans, but increasing their power might at least show the aliens they were aware of the intrusion. On the alien command ship, Admiral Krazathul studied the scan results with growing confusion. The Vorax had conquered dozens of systems throughout their history. Their technological superiority had never been challenged by young species like these humans. Yet the scan results from this single Earth vessel defied explanation. "This cannot be correct," Krazathul growled to his science officer. "Run the scans again." The science officer, a tall, thin being with grayish skin and 4 arms, touched controls on his console. The results are the same, Admiral. The human ship contains technology that should be centuries beyond their development level. Krazathul's yellow eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic display of the Defiant. According to their intelligence, humans had only achieved spaceflight a few hundred years ago. They should be using primitive chemical rockets and basic nuclear power. Yet this vessel showed signs of advanced quantum field manipulation, weapons capable of destroying entire moons, and power readings that suggested they had mastered zero-point energy. It is not possible, he insisted. Our scouts reported them as a Level 3 civilization only 20 cycles ago. His second-in-command, Sub-Admiral Vex, moved closer. Perhaps our scouts were detected and fed false information. Perhaps these humans have been hiding their true capabilities. On the Defiant's bridge, the crew watched anxiously as the alien ship suddenly changed formation, spreading out instead of maintaining their tight approach. "Sir, they've stopped their advance," Martinez reported. "They're holding position just beyond Saturn's orbit." Harris felt a glimmer of hope. "They're being cautious, that's good. It means they're not here for immediate attack." Lou looked up from her console with a strange expression. "Commander, I think they're afraid of us." Harris turned to her in surprise. "What makes you say that?" "Their scan patterns changed dramatically after they got their first readings. They're now scanning us much more carefully, focusing on our weapons and power systems. And look at their new formation. They've moved into a defensive posture." Harris considered this. "Keep our weapons hot, but continue broadcasting peaceful intentions. Let's not spook them." What none of the humans knew was that on the Vorax command ship, panic was spreading. The scan results showed weapons technology that could easily destroy their entire fleet. Power readings suggested the Earth vessel could generate enough energy to create a small black hole. Most alarming were the quantum signatures that indicated the humans might have mastered dimensional manipulation. Krazathul made his decision. "All ships hold position. Do not approach the human vessel. Prepare for immediate retreat if they make any aggressive moves." Vex looked shocked. "Retreat? From a single vessel?" Krazathul glared at his second-in-command. "That single vessel could destroy our entire fleet if these readings are accurate. We need to reassess everything we thought we knew about this species." Back on the Defiant, Harris watched the alien ships with growing confusion. Why weren't they advancing? Why weren't they communicating? "Sir," Martinez said, "I think they're afraid of us." Harris looked at the massive alien fleet on the screen, then at his own relatively small vessel. "That's ridiculous, Lieutenant. Why would they fear us?" Martinez smiled slightly. "I don't know, sir, but something about our ship has them spooked." Harris didn't know whether to feel relieved or more worried. Whatever had caused the aliens to hesitate had bought them time. But for what? "Keep broadcasting our greeting," he ordered. "And let's hope Earth has more ships like the Defiant ready soon, just in case they decide we're not so scary after all." 6 hours passed with no movement from the alien fleet. The crew of the Defiant maintained battle stations, waiting for something to happen. Commander Harris had ordered short rest shifts, knowing they couldn't stay at full alert forever. In the HFY, Ship's Engineering Section, Chief Engineer William Carter was not resting. Instead, he was hunched over a workstation with Science Officer Grace Liu, looking at the data from the alien scans. "They were very interested in our quantum ghost projectors," Carter said, pointing to a spike in the scan data. "They spent a lot of time focusing on them." Liu nodded, her tired eyes fixed on the screen. "That makes sense. No one else has this technology." The quantum ghost projectors were Earth's newest and most secret weapon, not because they could harm anyone, but because they could create perfect illusions. The system could make the Defiant appear to have capabilities far beyond what it actually possessed. It could project false weapon signatures, shield strengths, and power readings. Carter and Liu had developed the system after studying fragments of alien technology recovered from a crash site in Arizona 5 years earlier. The world's best scientists had worked day and night to reverse engineer the technology, hoping it might give humanity an edge if the ship's owners ever came looking. "Do you think they know it's not real?" Carter asked quietly. Liu shook her head. "I don't think so. If they knew we were bluffing, they would have attacked by now. The truth was that the Defiant, while impressive by human standards, would be no match for even one of the alien vessels in actual combat. The ship had only one truly advanced system, the quantum ghost projectors. Everything else was standard, Earth technology, barely a century beyond the first space shuttles. On the bridge, Commander Harris received a call from Earth. "Patch it through to my ready room," he ordered, then stepped away from the bridge. The worried face of General Laura, Wilson appeared on his screen. "Report, Commander. The aliens are holding position, ma'am. No hostile actions, no communications. They're just watching us." Wilson's expression was grim. "Our astronomers have identified at least 15 more alien ships approaching from beyond Neptune. Whatever scared them, it won't work forever." Harris nodded. "How long until the rest of the fleet is ready?" There was an uncomfortable pause before Wilson spoke. "Harris, you know there is no rest of the fleet. The Defiant is all we have." "The aliens don't know that," Harris said. "As far as they can tell, we have technology far beyond theirs. The projectors are working." "For now," Wilson said. "The President is calling an emergency session of the United Nations. We need to decide how to proceed. In the meantime, maintain your position and continue the deception." After ending the call, Harris returned to the bridge, his face carefully neutral despite the weight on his shoulders. The fate of humanity might depend on how long they could maintain this bluff. On the Vorax command ship, Admiral Krazathul was becoming increasingly frustrated. The initial scan results had shown technology that should be impossible for such a young species. His science team had been analyzing the data for hours, looking for any sign that it might be fake. Could it be some form of deception? "Krazathul," asked his science officer. "Unlikely, Admiral," the four-armed alien replied. "To create false readings of this complexity would require technology almost as advanced as the technology being simulated." Sub-Admiral Vex approached with a data pad. "The reinforcements will arrive within 12 hours, Admiral. Then we will have overwhelming force." Krazathul made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Overwhelming force. Did you not see the weapon? Signatures? That single human vessel could destroy our entire fleet if its systems are real. Then we must determine if they are real," Vex insisted. "I recommend we send a scout ship closer. If the humans attack, we will at least know their weapons are genuine." After considering this for a moment, Krazathul nodded. "Select our fastest scout. If they destroy it, we retreat immediately." Back on the Defiant, Lieutenant Martinez straightened in her chair. "Sir, one of the alien ships is moving. A small vessel, breaking formation and heading toward us." Harris tensed. "Weapons?" "No. Sign of weapons charging," Martinez reported. "They appear to be approaching slowly. I think it's a scout." Harris knew this was a critical moment. If the aliens discovered their deception, Earth would be defenseless. "Lieutenant Wells, open a channel, all frequencies." "Channel open, sir." Harris stood tall. "Attention, alien vessel. This is Commander Alan Harris of the Earth Defense Force vessel Defiant. Your approach is being monitored. Maintain your current speed and do not activate any weapon systems. Any aggressive action will be met with immediate response." There was no reply. The scout continued its slow approach. "They're scanning us again," Lou reported from the science station. Much more detailed scans this time. Harris turned to Carter. "Will the projectors hold up under close range?" The engineer looked worried. "They should, but I can't guarantee it. This technology was never fully tested. We're pushing it to its limits." "Sir," Martinez interrupted, "the scout is now within weapons range." Harris made a quick decision. "Target their engines with our railgun system. Don't fire unless I give the order." The railgun was one of the few real advanced weapons the Defiant possessed. It used electromagnetic forces to launch projectiles at incredible speeds. It wouldn't be enough to defeat the alien fleet, but it might be convincing enough to maintain their bluff. On the alien scout ship, the scan operator reported to their commander. "The human vessel is targeting our engines. Their weapons are primitive, projectile launchers but accelerated to unusual velocities." The scout commander reported back to Admiral Krazathul, who ordered, Perform a full-spectrum analysis. I want to know everything about that ship. As the scout's scans intensified, Carter saw warning lights flashing on his console. Commander, they're starting to penetrate our projection field. If they keep this up, they'll see through it soon. Harris knew he needed to act. Martinez, fire a warning shot. Aim to miss by 100 meters. The railgun fired, sending a hypersonic round past the alien scout. The projectile left a visible trail in the vacuum as it passed close enough to the scout to register on their sensors, but not close enough to be considered a direct attack. The effect was immediate. The scout ship stopped its approach and began backing away quickly. On the Vorax command ship, the scout commander's report caused a stir. Their projectile weapon energy readings are off the scale, Admiral. It barely missed us. Krazathul's yellow eyes widened. A warning. They could have destroyed you but chose not to. Sir, his science officer interrupted, I'm detecting anomalies in their energy signature. There's something strange about— Enough, Krazathul cut him off. I will not risk our entire fleet on suspicions. Order all ships to maintain distance. We wait for reinforcements. As the scout returned to the fleet, Harris allowed himself a small sigh of relief. They had bought more time, but he knew it wouldn't last forever. Soon the aliens would either see through their deception or bring enough ships that it wouldn't matter. Good work, everyone, he said to his crew. But this is just the beginning. We need to be ready for whatever comes next. In the engineering section, Carter and Lou exchanged worried glances. The projectors had nearly failed under the intense scanning. Next time they might not be so lucky. The sun was setting on the White House lawn as President Eleanor Russell walked quickly toward the Situation Room. Guards moved ahead of her, making sure the path was clear. Her face showed no emotion, but her hands were tight fists at her sides. Inside the Situation Room, screens covered the walls. Some showed the alien fleet near Saturn. Others displayed military bases around the world preparing for possible invasion. In the center of the room stood a large table where her advisors waited. What's our status? President Russell asked as she took her seat. Defense Secretary Paul Bennett stood up. The aliens are still keeping their distance. Commander Harris reports that our deception is holding, but their scans are getting more detailed. We don't know how much longer we can fool them. Russell nodded. And our actual defenses? Bennett's face grew grim. We have conventional missiles, some nuclear weapons, and air forces. Against what we're seeing out there, they wouldn't last 5 minutes. Then we need to buy more time, Russell said. Open a channel to the alien fleet. I want to speak with them directly. The communications team worked quickly. Within minutes, they had established a link through the Defiant. On the bridge of the Defiant, Commander Harris received the message from Earth. The President wants to open direct communications with the aliens? Yes, sir, said Lieutenant Wells. She believes a diplomatic approach might give us more time. Harris wasn't sure if talking would help, but he had his orders. Broadcast on all frequencies. Send visual and audio both. Wells nodded and began the transmission. This is the Earth vessel Defiant to the alien fleet. We are transmitting a message from our world leader. On the Vorax command ship, Admiral Krazathul was surprised by the communication request. They wish to speak? Perhaps they are not as confident as their technology suggests. Should we respond? Admiral? Asked Vex. Krazathul considered for a moment. Yes, I am curious what they have to say. The main screen on the Vorax ship flickered to life, showing President Russell sitting at her desk. The Earth flag stood behind her. I am President Eleanor Russell of the United Earth Government. We have detected your presence in our solar system and observed your cautious approach. We do not seek conflict, but we are prepared to defend our world if necessary. Krazathul studied the human leader. She looked fragile compared to his own species, but there was strength in her eyes. He activated his own transmission. In the White House Situation Room, the screen suddenly showed the alien commander. Krazathul had grayish skin, yellow eyes with slits for pupils, and a head that was longer than a human's. His voice came through the translators as deep and rumbling. I am Admiral Krazathul of the Vorax expansion fleet. We have observed your species for some time. Your sudden technological advancement is unexpected. President Russell didn't show her surprise at how well the alien spoke English. Their translator technology must be very advanced. We have kept many of our advancements secret, Admiral. We believed it was safer that way. This was a bold lie, but Russell delivered it with complete confidence. We have seen your conquests of 3-star systems, she continued, using information actually gathered from long-range telescopes over the past decade. We chose isolation until now, but make no mistake, we are prepared to defend ourselves. On his ship, Kraz-Thul's eyes widened slightly. How did the humans know about those conquests? Their observation technology must be even more advanced than he thought. We come in peace, Kraz-Thul lied, not wanting to provoke what appeared to be a dangerously advanced civilization. We seek only to establish contact and exchange knowledge. Then why bring a battle fleet into our system? Russell asked directly. Kraz-Thul hesitated. Standard procedure. The universe can be dangerous. In the engineering section of the Defiant, Carter watched the exchange on a small screen while working frantically on the quantum ghost projectors. The system was never designed to run this long. Components were overheating, and the power drain was becoming critical. We need to reduce the projection field, he told Liu. We can't maintain the full illusion much longer. Liu looked worried. If we reduce it too much, they'll see through it. If we don't reduce it, the whole system will fail and they'll definitely see through it, Carter replied. President Russell continued the diplomatic dance, neither threatening nor backing down. We propose a mutual agreement. Your fleet will remain at its current position while we send a single diplomatic vessel to meet with yours. Together, we can discuss terms for peaceful contact. What Russell didn't say was that this would give Earth more time to prepare its defenses, not that it would make much difference against the kind of technology they were facing. Admiral Kraz-Thul was suspicious, but saw an opportunity. Agreed, you may send one vessel to these coordinates. He transmitted the location data. The transmission ended, and Russell turned to her advisors. That buys us some time. Now, Director Dawson, tell me about this hologram plan of yours. Frank Dawson, director of the Intelligence Division, stepped forward. We've been developing planetary holographic technology based on the same principles as the Defiance projectors. We can create the illusion of massive defense installations around Earth. It won't fool them forever, but it might make them think twice about an immediate attack. Do it, Russell ordered, and get our best scientists working on any real defenses we might be able to develop quickly. In orbit around Earth, huge satellites were activated. They began projecting holographic images that could be seen from space. Massive defense platforms, weapon arrays, and shield generators. None of it was real, but from orbit it looked impressive. On the Vorax command ship, Kraz-Thul studied the new data coming in from their sensors. They have orbital defenses as well? Why did we not detect these before? They must have had them. Powered down, Vex suggested. They are activating them now as a warning to us. The science officer looked troubled. Admiral, I continue to find anomalies in our scans. Some of these readings don't match known physics principles. What are you suggesting? Kraz-Thul asked. I am not certain, the science officer admitted. But I recommend we send a closer scouting mission. A small ship that can enter their atmosphere and scan their planet directly. Kraz-Thul nodded slowly. Select our stealthiest scout. I wanted to approach Earth undetected. Back on the Defiant, Harris received new orders from Earth. The ship was to remain in position, maintaining the illusion while a diplomatic team prepared to meet the aliens. We need to make preparations for the diplomatic vessel, Harris told his crew, and we need to keep these aliens believing we're much stronger than we are. Lieutenant Martinez looked at the main screen showing the alien fleet. Do you think they bought the president's story? I don't know, Harris admitted. But right now our best weapon is doubt. As long as they're not sure what we're capable of, they'll be cautious. What none of the humans knew was that a small Vorax scout ship was already moving toward Earth, using technology that made it invisible to Earth's detection systems. The next phase of this dangerous game was about to begin, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The small Vorax scout ship slipped through Earth's detection systems as easily as a fish through water. Its advanced stealth technology bent light around its hull, making it nearly invisible. Inside, 4 Vorax operators worked silently, recording everything they saw. "Entering Earth atmosphere now," the pilot reported. "No signs of detection." The mission commander nodded. "Begin full spectrum scans. Admiral Krazathul wants detailed information on their defense systems." The scout ship moved quietly over North America, its sensors probing deep into the ground, searching for weapon silos, power plants, and military bases. The readings were confusing. From orbit, Earth had appeared to have massive defense installations, but up close, the scout was finding only primitive technology. "This makes no sense," the science officer said. "Their orbital defenses show quantum-level technology, but their ground installations are using basic nuclear power and chemical explosives. Could their advanced technology be hidden?" The commander asked. "Possibly, but our scans should detect power signatures regardless." The scout ship continued its mission, moving toward Washington, D.C., where the human leadership was located. At the Pentagon, alarms suddenly began to sound. Despite the Vorax stealth technology, one of Earth's experimental radar systems had detected a slight distortion in the atmosphere. "We have an unknown object moving over Virginia," a technician reported. "It's small and barely registering on our screens." General Wilson looked up sharply. "The aliens have sent a scout. Alert the president and get me the Defiant." On the Defiant, Commander Harris received the urgent message. "A stealth scout? If they're scanning Earth directly, they'll see through our deception immediately." "What do we do, sir?" Martinez asked. Harris thought quickly. "We need to distract them. Lieutenant Wells, prepare the diplomatic shuttle as planned. We'll launch it early, draw their attention away from Earth." "And if that doesn't work?" Liu asked quietly. Harris's face was grim. "Then we fight with what we have and hope it's enough." In the White House Situation Room, President Russell listened as her advisors explained the situation. "The holographic projections won't fool a close-range scan," Defense Secretary Bennett said. "If that scout reports back to their fleet, they'll know we're defenseless." Director Dawson spoke up. "We might have one option. The original alien craft that crashed in Arizona, we recovered its power core. We were never able to replicate it, but it still works. If we activate it at full power, it might create a signature that matches what we're projecting." "What's the risk?" Russell asked. "We don't fully understand the technology. It could overload, or worse." Russell didn't hesitate. "Do it. We need to maintain the deception at all costs." In a secret underground lab in Nevada, scientists rushed to activate the alien power core. The device was small, no larger than a basketball, but it glowed with strange blue energy. As they increased its output, the ground began to shake slightly. "Power levels rising," the lead scientist reported. "We're approaching the maximum we've tested before." "Keep going," ordered the facility director. "We need it at full capacity." The blue glow intensified, and warning alarms began to sound throughout the facility. The power readings were off the charts, sending a massive energy signature into the atmosphere. Above Washington, D.C., the Vorax scout ship suddenly detected the energy spike. "Commander, massive power source detected in the western region of the continent." The scout commander altered course immediately, heading toward Nevada. "What kind of power source?" "Zero-point energy," the science officer reported with alarm. "Similar to our most advanced systems, but with an unfamiliar configuration." On the Defiant, Harris watched as the diplomatic shuttle launched. It was a small vessel, unarmed and carrying no actual diplomats. Its purpose was simply to draw attention. "The shuttle is away," Wells reported. "But sir, I'm detecting a massive energy reading from Earth. Something in Nevada just lit up like a small sun on our sensors." Harris was confused. This wasn't part of the plan. "Contact Earth Command. Find out what's happening." Before anyone could respond, Lieutenant Martinez called out, "Sir, the alien scout has changed course. It's heading toward Nevada at high speed." Harris realized something had changed on Earth, something that might either save them or doom them completely. In Nevada, the alien power core continued to increase in strength. The facility was evacuating as radiation levels rose to dangerous levels. The core was becoming unstable, but it was sending out exactly the kind of energy signature they needed, one that matched their holographic projections. The Vorax Scout ship arrived over the Nevada desert and began scanning the source of the energy readings. The science officer's eyes widened as the data came in. "Commander, this is not possible. The humans have a zero-point energy source more powerful than anything in our fleet. It's similar to our technology, but different, more efficient, more powerful." The commander stared at the readings in disbelief. Could this be a trap? "I don't know, but these readings are real. The energy signature is consistent with advanced technology." The commander made his decision. "We have what we came for. Return to the fleet immediately." As the scout ship turned to leave Earth's atmosphere, the alien power core in Nevada reached critical levels. Scientists watched from a safe distance as the facility glowed bright blue, then began to shake violently. "It's going to overload," the lead scientist said grimly. "There's nothing we can do now." The core exploded in a flash of blue light, creating a crater half a mile wide. The explosion was unlike anything Earth had seen before, not a nuclear blast, but a burst of pure energy that sent strange waves rippling through the atmosphere. The Vorax scout ship recorded the explosion as it raced back to space. "They just detonated a zero-point energy device," the science officer reported. "The readings suggest it was a weapon test, not an accident." On the Vorax command ship, Admiral Krazathul received the scout's report with growing horror. The humans not only had advanced technology, but they were now testing weapons that could threaten his entire fleet. "This changes everything," he told his officers. "The humans are more dangerous than we thought. Not only do they have advanced ships, but they have zero-point energy weapons on their planet as well." Vex looked troubled. "What are your orders, Admiral?" Krazathul was silent for a long moment. The Vorax had never retreated from a conquest before, but they had never faced a species with technology that might match or exceed their own. "Prepare the fleet for immediate withdrawal," he finally ordered. "We will return to Vorax command and report what we found. This planet requires a much larger force if we are to conquer it." On the Defiant, Harris received the report of what had happened in Nevada. The alien power core had overloaded, but the explosion had been recorded by the Vorax scout before it left Earth's atmosphere. "Sir," Martinez said suddenly, "the alien fleet is moving. They're pulling back, moving away from Saturn, heading out of the solar system." The bridge crew looked at each other in disbelief. Had their desperate gamble actually worked? Harris allowed himself a small smile. "It seems our bluff may have paid off, but this isn't over. They'll be back, and next time, they'll bring an even bigger fleet." On Earth, President Russell received the news with mixed emotions. They had bought some time, but at a great cost. The alien power core was destroyed, and with it, their best chance of understanding the technology. "How much time do we have?" she asked her advisors. "Based on our observations of their ships, it could take them months to return to their home system and come back with reinforcements," Bennett said. Russell nodded firmly. "Then we have months to prepare, and this time, we won't be bluffing." 3 months passed since the alien fleet left the solar system. Earth used this time wisely. Every nation pooled their resources and best minds to prepare for the inevitable return of the Vorax. The Defiant remained in orbit, its quantum ghost, projectors now upgraded with new power systems. Commander Harris stood on the bridge looking at the stars, wondering when the aliens would return. "Penny for your thoughts, Commander," said Lieutenant Martinez as she joined him by the view screen. Harris smiled slightly. "Just thinking about how close we came to disaster. If that alien power core hadn't exploded exactly when it did." "Lucky timing," Martinez agreed. "Too lucky," Harris said quietly. "I've been reading the reports. That core shouldn't have exploded. Like that. The scientists say it was stable until the very end. Before Martinez could respond, an alert sounded from her console. "Sir, we're detecting unusual energy readings just beyond Neptune's orbit." Harris straightened immediately. "What kind of readings?" "Similar to the Vorax ships, but different, somehow. The signature is cleaner, more efficient." Harris's heart sank. "They're back and they've brought better ships." He pressed the comm button. "This is Commander Harris to Earth Defense Command. We have possible Vorax ships approaching. Alert the President and prepare all defenses." On Earth, the response was immediate. The new defense systems, mostly fake holographic projections but with a few real weapons mixed in, were activated. The image presented from orbit was impressive. A planet bristling with advanced weapon platforms and shield generators. President Russell gathered her advisors in the Situation Room once again. "How much time do we have?" "At their current speed, they'll reach Earth orbit in 6 hours, Defense Secretary Bennett reported. "And our actual defenses?" Russell asked. Director Dawson stepped forward. "We've made progress, but not enough. We've managed to build 3 more ships with basic ghost projector technology, and we've developed some energy weapons based on the alien technology, but they're untested and limited in number." Russell nodded grimly. "It will have to be enough." On the Defiant, Harris was confused. The approaching ships weren't moving in a battle formation. They were coming in slowly, almost cautiously. "Only one ship," Martinez reported. "Much larger than the previous Vorax vessels, but definitely only one." Harris frowned. "One ship? After what they saw last time, I expected an armada." "Sir?" Wells called from communications. "We're receiving a transmission. It's not using Vorax protocols." "On screen," Harris ordered. The main view screen flickered, showing a being unlike the Vorax. This alien had blue-tinted skin, large eyes, and a more humanoid appearance. When it spoke, its voice was melodic, almost pleasant. "Greetings, people of Earth. I am Ambassador Zara of the Eltarian Alliance. We have been observing your encounter with the Vorax fleet and wish to establish peaceful contact." Harris exchanged glances with his officers before responding. "This is Commander Harris of the Earth vessel Defiant. Your arrival is unexpected. We were preparing for the return of the Vorax." Ambassador Zara nodded. "The Vorax will not trouble you for some time. They believe your world possesses technology far beyond their own. We know this is not entirely accurate." Harris tensed. "What do you mean?" "We have been watching Earth for decades," Zara explained. "We know your true technological level. Your quantum ghost projectors were quite impressive, however. Few species have shown such ingenuity when faced with superior forces." In the White House Situation Room, President Russell watched the exchange with growing concern. "They know we were bluffing. If they tell the Vorax, then we're doomed," Bennett finished grimly. On the Defiant, Harris decided honesty was their best option now. "If you know the truth, then you know we're vulnerable. The Vorax would destroy us if they returned." Zara smiled, an expression surprisingly similar to a human's. "That is why we are here. The Eltarian Alliance has been fighting the Vorax expansion for centuries. We have been looking for allies." "Allies?" Harris repeated. "With respect, Ambassador, if you know our true level of technology, you know we can offer little help against the Vorax." "I disagree," Zara said. "Your quantum ghost projectors alone show remarkable innovation, and the fact that you convinced the Vorax fleet to retreat using only clever deception, that is exactly the kind of thinking we need." The Eltarian ship moved closer to Earth, allowing the humans to see it clearly. It was beautiful, with smooth lines and glowing blue energy patterns across its hull. It was clearly more advanced than even the Vorax vessels had been. "We propose an alliance," Zara continued. "We will share technology with your people, help you build real defenses. In return, we ask for your help in developing new strategies against the Vorax. Your different perspective may be exactly what we need to turn the tide in this war." President Russell joined the conversation from Earth. "Ambassador Zara, this is President Eleanor Russell. Before we agree to any alliance, we need to know more about this conflict. Why should Earth become involved in a war between alien civilizations? Because the Vorax will return, Zara said simply. They are suspicious of your world now, but eventually they will learn the truth. When they do, they will come with their full might. The Vorax do not forgive deception. In the engineering section of the Defiant, Carter and Liu listened to the exchange with growing excitement. The chance to work with advanced alien technology was beyond their wildest dreams. Do you think they're telling the truth? Liu asked, quietly. Carter shrugged. I don't know. But their ship makes the Vorax vessels look primitive by comparison. If they're offering to share that technology, President Russell didn't need long to make her decision. Ambassador Zara, Earth would be honored to join the Altarian Alliance. We accept your offer of technological exchange, and we will contribute whatever we can to your cause. Zara nodded. Excellent. With your permission, we will send a delegation to Earth to begin the technology transfer. We should act quickly. The Vorax may be cautious now, but they will not stay away forever. As arrangements were made for the Altarian delegation, Harris found himself alone with Martinez on the observation deck of the Defiant. Do you think we can trust them? Martinez asked. Harris watched the beautiful Altarian ship in the distance. I don't know, but right now we don't have much choice. If they're offering us a real chance to defend ourselves, we have to take it. From one deception to the next, Martinez said with a small smile. First, we tricked the Vorax, and now we're hoping the Altarians are what they claim to be. Harris nodded. That's the thing about space, Lieutenant. It's full of unknowns. But that's also what makes us human. Our ability to face the unknown and find a way forward. As the Altarian ship moved into Earth orbit, humanity prepared for the next chapter in its journey to the stars. The deception that had saved them from the Vorax had brought them to the attention of a powerful new ally. The future was uncertain, but for the first time since the Vorax appeared, it held real hope. On the bridge of the Defiant, Harris gave the order to welcome the Altarian delegation. Whatever came next, Earth would face it with the same ingenuity and courage that had served them so far. And perhaps one day the quantum ghost projectors would be replaced by real advanced technology, and Earth would take its place among the stars not through deception, but through genuine achievement. The journey was just beginning.